We just got done talking about tactic number 6 about catching people in your web and internet lead generation. Let's talk about tactic number 7, where it's pricing ahead of the market. Steve, what did you take away from seller pricing strategies?
Yeah, well, as soon as a shift begins to occur, the next thing that enters the market is fear, right? Yep. People hear about it usually from the media or something like that, and it's like all of a sudden the brakes are going to get put on, right? And unfortunately for the sellers, the buyers usually are aware of it first, right? The buyers are the ones that are in 10 homes every Saturday. They're the ones looking every night and putting offers in that are being rejected. They know what things are worth. The seller, on the other hand, they're living in the past, and it's like, hey, prices just keep going up and my house should sell in 2 days, right? Right. The shift occurs, and suddenly we've got to have that hard conversation with the seller to say, let's get real about selling your house, right? There's a price at which your home will sell now. It's time versus dollars, and that's the conversation we need to be able to have.
You want to price ahead of the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we're looking here is where you think the market is heading. You want to be at the forefront of that and not chasing it down over time.
And that's our job as agents, so right, to be that expert, to be able to say, here is where things are headed. On one side, it's, there's science to it and hard data, and on the other side, we're kind of forecasting and saying this is what we believe is happening here based on what's happening in other places.
Yep. And if we misprice that, you guys, right when the shifting market, if home prices are going down and we put something on the market, there's a window of opportunity that they talk about in the book where if you don't sell that house in that window of opportunity, you're going to start chasing that market down because downward pricing, and if you price it too high, every time you go to do a lower, the price, you're going to constantly be trying to play catch up.
The one thing we know for sure is that a home that's priced lower than the market, or we might say ahead of the market, if the market's falling, we know that if a home is priced below the market price right now, the fair market value, we know it's going to attract the buyers that are out there. Even if the buyers are a little skittish and they're not looking as much, we're the one that their eyeballs are going to be on, and that's what we want.
100%. Yep, absolutely.
And you follow it down. So pricing your home even just 5% too high. A $200,000 home, it's $10,000 too high. Well, then the market starts to fall. Somebody lowers their price $5,000. Right? They're still behind. Right? And then they just chase it down. They end up, selling it for $20,000 less than they could have sold it before. But to be able to be that market expert that can get through to them that these are your choices. Yeah. Right? These are your choices. You want to price it here, here, or here. You want to price it above the market, you want to price it at the market, or you want to price it ahead of the market. And of course, our recommendation would always be that we're pricing it ahead of the market.
In the 2010 shift, when the market was really low, I had to actually buy, when I was buying investment properties to fix them up and sell them, I remember having to discount them by about $5,000. Average sale price was probably $125,000 at the time. But I would plan on buying an investment property, fixing it up, and still being priced $5,000 cheaper than any house on that street or in that neighborhood, because in a shifting market like that, when the market was really depressed, that's what it took to sell your home quickly, is that I was the nicest house on the block and $5,000 below, and that's what this tactic's talking about. At this point with this chapter, I highly advise you guys to talk to other agents that have survived shifts before, get their opinion on how they price homes at this moment, and lean on your mentors and your relationships at this point in the market.
So what you want to do is commit to becoming that trusted market expert. You need to master the scripts. You know what the objections are going to be. They shouldn't be a surprise when you get to the table to speak with a seller. And then you want to be able to master the market dynamics. Those graphs that are on page 150 through 153 in here, those are your tools. Go ahead and use them.